This box contains one of the most wanted sprint technologies of the year. This is the 1080 Sprint 2 by 1080 Motion. This device is an improved and updated version of the Sprint 1 that was and still is heavily used by elite athletes all over the world. For those of you that don't know this device or what it does, the 1080 Sprint 2 and its predecessor the Sprint 1 as well can be categorized as motorized linear encoder systems, which in simple terms means that they connected a strong rope to a motor so the device can apply very accurate resistance or assistance during sprints. Those movements are being tracked and measured to inform coaching decisions. Especially the safe and precise assisted/overspeed capabilities make this a highly wanted device. As you saw during the unboxing, when you buy the 1080 Sprint 2, which costs about 15,000 euros or $16,500 VAT not included, there are quite a few things that come standard with the basic package. Most important is the Sprint 2 itself and the travel handle that is easily attached or detached. Secondly, the belts that will be worn by the athlete, 2 change of direction belts and 2 regular sprint belts, as well as a quick release strap for the assisted or breakaway sprints. You have an extra 120 meter line and a gear tube pulley to double the applied resistance. There is of course the charging cable, a disassembly kit for traveling and a carabiner hook and extra line stop. Besides these basics, there are also a few accessories you can buy, like the travel case that we got here, that'll cost you 690 euros or $750 VAT not included. As you saw, the device got delivered in the travel case, but I do wonder how the Sprint 2 gets delivered if you don't add the travel case. Now I think most people will add this to their purchase just as an extra protective measure, and especially within the athletics world, this device is meant to be traveled with and taken on training camps, etc. So you can't really go anywhere without the travel case. You also have the option to buy the software package that is an annual license of 750 euros or $900, VAT not included. There's a set of traction spikes to fixate the Sprint 2 more firmly into the ground or track for 295 euros or $350, VAT once again not included. Lastly, there is also the wall or squat rack mount to click the Sprint 2 onto the squat rack or a wall for strength exercises. Now coming back to how the 1080 Sprint 2 feels coming right out of the box. The first thing that is very notable compared to its predecessor is its size. The Sprint 2 is only a third of what the Sprint 1 was, with the Sprint 1 being about 1 meter long, 33 centimeters wide and 21 centimeters high, while the Sprint 2 is only 27 centimeters long, 20 centimeters wide and 30 centimeters high. However, despite being a lot smaller, it still weighs a lot. As you can see, I did not only had some trouble lifting the travel case out of the cardboard box, but lifting the 25 kg Sprint 2 out of the case isn't light work either. Once out of the box, however, the handle and wheels make it easy to maneuver and roll around, which makes you quickly forget how heavy it is. Now this device feels, maybe thanks to its weight as well, very sturdy and is very well built and thought out. There is rubber on the edges to protect it against bumps and bruises. The touchscreen on top can be rotated 180 degrees, so it can be viewed from both the athlete's and coach's side, while also going face down when stored to protect the screen. The emergency button is quickly available on the front side, so when things do go wrong, you can quickly shut the whole system down. The end of the rope can be fixated to the machine for storage, so the rope won't get tangled, or to put the device in Gear 2 mode and to connect the pulley to double the applied load. When you push the power button, the screen on top will light up and you'll get a loading screen before being forwarded to the home menu. We got this delivered with a full battery, and after a week and a half of daily use and testing, it was still at 25%. So you'll probably have to charge the battery every week or every 2 weeks depending on how heavy you use it. If you are a little bit tech savvy, the interface will be very easy to understand and navigate. At the moment, we are running version 1.9.0.0, so this user interface might change in the future, but for now this looks and feels great. It kind of has an Apple look to it, which is quite funny because this device does not support Apple devices like iPads or Macs. If you bought a software license, you'll need a Windows tablet or PC to run it. Now the first thing I did when I started the 1080 Sprint 2 was to go into the settings menu to connect to the Wi-Fi and download the latest software update. Once that was done, the device was just ready to train with. You very quickly get a hang of how every individual training type menu is set up and what parameters you can play around with. You have the option between resisted sprints, assisted sprints, change of direction sprints, reps for strength training, isokinetic for fixed speed movements no matter the load, or an open training if you want full control over everything. Let's take the resisted sprints for example, just to show you how quickly and intuitively this is. First you set the 0 point, meaning the point where the device will no longer apply any resistance. The Sprint 2 gives an infograph for the 0 point of each training mode, and once that is set, you can dial in the resistance. You can choose how hard the rope needs to retract after each run and whether you use the pulley or not. If you use the pulley, don't forget to dial that into the device as well, otherwise you will be training at double the load, but the machine will still think that you're in gear 1. The data from each run is directly available in the middle of the screen, and each run or rep will be displayed as a new block. You can also easily switch between the displayed parameters by tapping the tags on top of the screen. The main holdback though for all this useful data is that the storage of it is stuck behind a paywall, which is the yearly subscription software package. You can easily note all the training data down on a notepad and type that into an Excel sheet to track training session progress however, but for the price of this device, a 1-year trial, like they did with the Sprint 1, would have been a nice addition. From a business point of view though, I do understand why they make it an annual subscription, but we'll let each one of you decide whether this is necessary to have or not. At the moment, we are doing it without the software package. If we decide to get it in the future though, we'll surely keep you up to date on our thoughts. This device is mostly bought via a middleman, like the Simply Faster website for example, which we've linked below if you want to check out more for yourself. But as of first impressions, this device feels great right out of the box. The Sprint 2 is quick to set up and doesn't take a lot of time to get used to. The big downside for now is mainly the price and the fact that some of the accessories are very handy but need to be bought separate. Despite that, we are going to train and test a lot with it, and if you made it up until this point, like the video for more content like this, and if you want to watch the full review of our 1080 Sprint 2, click the video on the top right.